Welcome to our YouTube channel Nyanjali Modern School. Today, Standard 6, Subject SS, Chapter number 1, What, How and When. Previous video we discussed about the sum of topic, what is history, why do we study history, and now today our topic is how do we study history. How do we study history? The scholars who study history and write about the past were known as historians. The scholars who study history and write about the past. The past are known as historians. The scholars who study history and write about the past are known as historians. Also underline this word in your textbook. The scholars who study history and write about the past are known as historians. Historians have divided the past into two periods. First one, prehistory. Prehistory and history. Historians have divided the past into two periods. Historians have divided the past into two periods. First one prehistory and second one history. Prehistory is that period of history when human beings did not know how to read or write. Then you ask the question, sir, what is prehistory? Then here is a definition. What is prehistory? Also underline this word. Prehistory is that period of history. Prehistory is that period of history when human beings did not know how to read or write. In many years ago, we don't know how to read and how to write. That's why this call is prehistory. Prehistory is that period of history when human beings did not know how to read or write. It was the period It was the period. It was the period before writing was writing was invented. Invented. It was the period before writing was invented. We do not. We do not. We do not have any written records. Any written records of this period. Of this period. Of this period. Here, first of all, prehistory is that period of history where human beings did not know how to read or write. It was the period before writing was invented. We do not have any written records of this period because many years ago human cannot read and cannot write. That's why we do not have any written records of this period. Means no proof. History is the period after writing. Writing was invented. History is the period after writing invented. It is the period for which written records are available. And then you ask me a question, so then this is the prehistory. Then what is the history? Then history is the period after writing invented. Means when the human can write and read it, then history is the period after writing invented. It is the period for which written records are available. And then prehistory, then we do not have any written records. Then history is the period after writing invented. It is the period for which written records are available. First of all, write down in your book. Okay, student, now for the next topic. Here, second topic is sources of history. Sources of history. The materials used by historians in their study of history are known as sources. The materials used by historians in their study of history are known as sources. The material used by historians in their study of history are known as sources. What is the meaning of sources? The materials used by historians in their study of history are known as sources. There are two main sources of history. First one, archaeological sources and literary sources. Here, there are two main sources of history. First one, archaeological sources, and second one, literary sources. We discuss about the first sources. First one, archaeological sources. Now start the archaeological sources. First one, archaeological is the study of past cultures and how people lived based on the material remains left by people long ago. Archaeological is the study of past cultures and how people live based on the material remains left by people long ago. Here, archaeological is the study of past cultures and how people live based on the material remains left by people long ago. Well, here, the present times, our lifestyle, how people live, and then many years ago, different cultures, different people live. That's why archaeological is the study of past cultures and how people live based on the material remains left by people long ago. Many of these remains have been found buried deep under the earth and are examined by archaeologists. And archaeologists and archaeologists and archaeologist is a person who accepts these remains. These remains and studies them closely. An archaeologist is a person who examines these remains and studies them closely. Sorry, students. Casually seen, I think you hear the name channel name was history. Then the channels show us the archaeologist how to identify their studies and cultures. Means an archaeologist is a person who examines these remains and studies them closely. Archaeologists try to build a picture of what life must have been in the past with the help of evidence found. Archaeologists try to build a picture, picture of what life must have been in the past, with the help of the evidence found. Archaeologists try to build a picture of what life must have been in the past with the help of the evidence found. Archaeologists what to try to find two evidence. Archaeologists try to build a picture of what life must have been in the past. Now, how can we prove that? Then, archaeologists must have to evidence found. Each archaeologist find tell us a story and help us to unravel to mysteries of the past. Archaeological sources help us where no written records of an area are available. Archaeological sources help us where no written records of an area are available. We discuss in how do we study history. We discuss now as like this. When the human cannot read and write, then the archaeological source help us where no written records of an area are available. Historians also find their sources useful as the help of verify information found in written records. Some of the archaeological sources used by historians include monuments, caves, rock shelters, fossils, beads, tools, toys, jewelry, pottery, coins, inscription, and pillars. You can say that you can see the picture in your textbook how before past time in people's life. Even burial sites are regarded as archaeological sources. Okay, student, write down on your book. Okay, student. Now, further moving for the next topic. Monuments. Monuments are old buildings forts, places, temples or tombs built by different rulers. Monuments are old buildings, forts, places, temples, and or tombs built by different rulers. Means the kings, rulers, different kings and others rulers. Monuments are old buildings, forts, places, temples, or tombs built by different rulers. These are useful sources. These are useful sources of information which help us understand more about an area or a ruler. These are useful sources of information which help us to understand more about an area or a ruler. Means more information for which help us to understand more about an area or a ruler. The Red Fort in Delhi, the Brihadeshwar Temple in Thanjavur and the Taj Mahal in Agra are the historical monuments of great significance. The Red Fort, in Delhi, Brihadeshwar Temple in Thanjavur and the Taj Mahal in Agra are historical monuments of great significances. Monuments are old buildings, forts, places, temples, or tombs built by different rulers. These are useful sources for information which help us to understand more about an area or a ruler. The Red Fort in Delhi, the Brihadeshwara Temple in Thanjavur, and the Taj Mahal in Agra are historical monuments of great significances. Okay, students, now further moving objects in our next video. Today homework. Write a short note about sources of history. Sources of history. Archaeological sources, sources of history and archaeological sources. Okay, write down your homework. Okay, student, today your video is complete. Further moving in our next video. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.